Wow, in this megasode, as Bitcoin continues to consolidate and actually form a very similar pattern that we've been seeing before, we're going to actually be talking about something different in this webisode and talk about how we're still making profit now and exactly how to set yourself up to take advantage of this as well. Guys, if in fact Bitcoin is repeating this pattern that many people are now saying it very likely is, then I'm highly convinced we're going to see some very similar price action in altcoins that we've seen over the past few months as well, because as Bitcoin was consolidating in this pattern like it was back here for the last few months, there was so many opportunities in the altcoin market, and that's specifically what we're going to be delving into in the second half of this webisode. We're going to give you a quick rundown of how to get involved, how to access it, guys, because this barrier to entry is a little bit harder than using a regular exchange, and that is exactly one of the big reasons why I think getting in early is going to actually benefit people a lot until it becomes too mainstream. And geesh Louise, just when we thought Bitcoin was finally breaking out of this pattern, we're actually coming back again to test this pattern, guys. We've been wanting a substantial break to get into a new pattern, basically any new trading position, any new volatility for Bitcoin, guys, but it seems like Bitcoin just really wants to play around with the silly triangle. And we will be covering some altcoins in this webisode. Wow, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to an extremely super duper megasode. We have a lot to delve into today, and specifically because Bitcoin looks as though this pattern seems to be repeating again, we'll talk about what that means for Bitcoin and what we're going to be doing in the meantime, because to be honest, if in fact this does repeat, then we have a decent amount of time to trade sideways for Bitcoin and a lot of opportunities that I'm much more excited for in some of these other cryptocurrencies, and we're going to show you exactly what they are. Just over the last 48 hours, for people that are in T4 and even in the Telegram, if you just follow along with what I've been doing, then you would be up a few 100% just in the last few days, guys. The market can be extremely risky, but if you do research and you take advice from people that you trust and then research yourself, that is probably the best bet, the best way to be successful in this market. Guys, huge, I'll be the first to admit, I didn't learn everything about cryptocurrency by myself. What I did was I looked to people who knew things and I learned from them, right? I used my own judgment, I filtered out stuff that I didn't think was valuable, but ultimately there are some very interesting and very intelligent people in this space that you can learn from, which is exactly what I've done and what I'm still doing, guys. Always be learning. But wow, guys, if you are interested in joining T4 where you can learn charting, trading, following with our portfolio, everything like that, make sure to use the code millions at checkout to get 15% off. We're going to be ending the sale somewhat soon. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and turning on post notifications so you get updated when we upload new videos. Guys, huge. So a lot of people have been talking about this repeating fractal. I think it was started with DIY investing, Kevin Svensson, Crypto Zombie. I've seen it quite a few places now. And again, it does look pretty similar. We have this consolidation pattern here where we're in like a smaller version of it here. Okay, we talked about this ascending triangle and then this ascending channel. Basically the same thing, guys. We're getting very repeating patterns with Bitcoin's price, which leads people to believe this is algorithm and bot trading and something else more systematic kind of leading the price action, which would make sense. But we have to recognize a few things too. We're going to get into that. But basically, we're on the verge of breaking out into a massive bull market. And with that being said, we literally have like one big resistance left, and that's like 14K before we actually enter that. So it's not really a surprise that we might have to consolidate right below that for a little bit. You know, still maybe get that pullback to maybe fill the gap around 9.6. That's definitely in question. That's definitely not out of the question, right? It's something to consider. And with that being said, it is possible that Bitcoin maybe takes a few more weeks, you know, a month or two to actually get that. But ultimately, there is not a doubt in my mind. I am 100% confident that we're going to be heading into new all-time highs, maybe before the end of the year, maybe the very beginning of 2021. Either way, not too concerned about it because, guys, to be honest, I've been making more money with altcoins anyway. Very happy with my portfolio over the past 2 months. I do a little research, make some solid decisions, wait, and you know, a few weeks go by and all of a sudden you're in some good profit, right? You can't be watching the hourly chart or the 4-hour chart every single day, making trades every single day, in my opinion. I think that's the quickest way to just confuse yourself and get messed up. But basically, we're going to be talking more about that in altcoins later in the video, but I want to start off with the Bitcoin technical analysis. So back to this fractal here, if this actually would repeat, similar to what we've been seeing, then we might actually trade for like another week or two in this pattern, in this consolidation pattern, and kind of be boring for Bitcoin. However, when this happens, this is exactly when alts flourish, right? As this was happening over the past few months, altcoins, specifically some very important altcoins that I'm invested in, did extremely well during this time period, guys. So when Bitcoin trades sideways, people get bored and people delve into alts more, and then some of those alts explode. And what we've been seeing is a lot of those altcoins actually retain some really nice price levels. Okay, again, this is the beginning of a bull market. So people say pump and dump everything, but every coin that I'm invested in has pumped, come down a little, but it has not even dumped anywhere near to where it was before it pumped, right? I'm still up massively on all these coins. Many of them I haven't even moved out of the positions, right? I'm just keeping the positions. And even after dumps, they're still up extremely well. So, I mean, why would I sell them? I'm still up, and I think there's a lot more upside. So why would I get rid of them, right? And then we have Bitcoin going into this gosh darn ascending triangle again, trying to get support here. Now, this most likely would be a rejection, right? So we came down. We actually set a lower low, because this was our first one back on August 11th. Then we have this one 2 weeks later, where we went all the way down. This was only about it was like $50 or something below what that low was. But again, technically it's still a lower low. But you want to take it with a grain of salt so far, because we're coming back up. We're testing this resistance line. You can see right here, this is where we're still testing for support. If we get rejected off of this, then we may see some more downside. So that's what I'm watching for right now. A strong rejection off here would definitely indicate probably some further downside momentum there. And guys, for example, one of the coins I hold a lot of, OMG, is actually up. I think it's like 20% today, right? So we're still getting pumps across the board. Chainlink actually now back above the 21-day moving average. We have Tezos back above its 50-day. Tezos was getting beaten down a little bit yesterday. And now it's above its 50 right now. Ethereum actually under its 21, but it's still holding some very key levels there, which is good. Ethereum's still looking good. But guys, now I want to draw your attention to something I've been doing for the past few weeks, and I'm sure many of you have been as well, maybe for a few months, right? So Uniswap has been blowing up, and I just want to do a quick little overview of how I'm using it, how simple it is, but you also want to be careful with it. So I think fundamentally why Uniswap is a huge opportunity right now is because the barrier to entry is a little bit higher than just using a normal centralized exchange. Because this is decentralized, it's a little bit different. It really only takes like 5 to 10 minutes to learn. Okay, it's not super difficult, but it's a little less intuitive than you're probably used to if you're only using centralized exchanges. So for example, we're going to do a quick rundown. Basically, all you do is connect a MetaMask wallet, which if you don't have one, again, you can make one in like 3 minutes. You just connect the wallet up here. You make sure it says connected. Okay, once it is connected, you can trade here. Okay, you just basically deposit some ETH into that wallet. And then once you have the ETH in there, you can put the ETH here, pick whatever you want to swap it into right here. You select the token, you click whichever token you want. And then once your wallet's connected, this will say, like, this will enable you to buy it. It won't say connect, but I don't have a wallet connected on this browser. There are some options up here you want to check out, like your slippage tolerance. You might want to adjust that a little bit. Toggle on and off dark mode. I like dark mode better. But yeah, specifically, if you go here and you go through this list and there's a coin and there's not a coin that you're looking for. Okay, so say you want to get a coin that's not on here, right? All you would do to actually get it on there is go to CoinMarketCap. Okay, say for example it's CBDAO. You would go here, go to Explorer, and then you can find the contract number, which is right here, right? You can just hit copy address. Okay, so let's say that that's not in there. You would just go here to pick which cryptocurrency you want to convert your Ethereum into. You could just paste that address, and then look, you can come out here, found by address. You can hit add. You understand that people can create fake versions. However, for the most part, some of these coins are pretty safe. But again, that's why you want to be careful. You want to test this with small amounts if you are going to be using it. Okay, you don't want to just dive in and put like $20,000 in your very first time, right? You want to be smart about it. And then look, you can convert this to Esprit, goes in your MetaMask wallet after you convert it, and that's basically how you do it. So pretty simple. I know there's some really good tutorials already. I think BitBoy, I think Elio Trades, they've all done tutorials. And I would recommend them if you want kind of just a further in-depth tutorial, but for the most part, that's all you have to do. And as well, I don't really talk about these small cap coins on my channel. I try and stick to Bitcoin and some of the very, very top cryptos, maybe in like the top 20 or 30. But there's some criticism about Twitter influencers and YouTubers like using their platform to pump coins. And I just want to say, I don't necessarily think they are doing that to be malicious. I think they're just trying to get some awareness into coins. And for the most part, I'm pretty sure they all disclose that they have partnerships or are invested before they tell you that. So they're pretty much disclosing everything anyway. But yeah, to be honest, some of these coins are extremely small, and some of them, maybe they have insane projects that just have no publicity. And, YouTubers are coming on and marketing and help marketing the projects. I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that at all, right? I think they're just trying to spread some awareness about it. I understand why some people would say like, oh, they're just pumping and dumping on people, which maybe is the case, but to be honest, I don't necessarily think anyone's doing that I've seen. And some coins that I've gotten in over the last week are still up, like massively. I'm still up, like hundreds of percents on some of these coins over the last few weeks. So if I wanted, I could take some profit now, but I'm already in a position where I don't necessarily have any concern in the short term. So I'm kind of just, riding this out. This is a huge bull cycle. I think there's so much value that's going to be added. So again, I'm kind of in some of these for the long term, to be honest. But huge, guys. If you have any questions, always feel free to shoot me an email. Some of them get sent to my spam folder, so I don't always get every email. And sometimes I just get a ton of emails at once, so I can't get back to everyone right away. But yeah, if you're interested in following along with what specifically I'm looking at, if you want to learn charting and trading and follow my portfolio and everything like that, make sure to check out T4 and use the code MILLIONS at checkout to get 15% off for a limited time. Cheers.